When Eric Shipton, the Everest explorer, was flying back from Karachi in 1951, he was startled when a stewardess told him that crowds of reporters would be waiting to see him at the airport. It would be another 2 years before Sir Edmund Hillary and Sherpa Tenzing reached the summit and turned Everest into front-page news. It was not until he landed in London that Shipton discovered what all the excitement was about: a footprint in the snow. When crossing the Menlong Glacier, Shipton's team had observed a line of huge footprints. Shipton photographed one of them with an ice axe beside it to provide scale. It was 13 inches wide and 18 inches long. The footsteps were those of a two-legged creature, not a wolf or a bear. The only animal with a vaguely similar foot is an orangutan, but it has a far longer big toe. During a 1954 expedition to Nepal, the mountaineering leader John Angelo Jackson made the first trek from Everest to Kanchenjunga, in the course of which he photographed symbolic paintings of the Yeti at Tembochi Monastery. The Tibetan word Yeti means mountain bear, and its Chinese equivalent is Jueyuan or Yeren, which literally translates to wild man. We might refer to it as the abominable snowman. Jackson tracked and photographed many footprints in the snow, most of which could not be identified. On March 19, 1954, the Daily Mail printed an article which described hair specimens from what was alleged to be a Yeti scalp found in the Pambochi Monastery. Alas, it turned out to be the hair of a Himalayan tahr, that is, a beautiful Nepalese goat. In 1959, adventurer Peter Byrne stole bone fragments from a dubious Yeti hand held as a ritual artifact at Pambochi Monastery. He smuggled the relics from Nepal into India, and actor James Stewart carried them to England. However, DNA testing proved them to be of human origin. The misidentification of Himalayan wildlife, especially monkeys and bears, was proposed as an explanation for some Yeti sightings. That being said, in 2004, Henry G., editor of the journal Nature, mentioned the Yeti as an example of a legend deserving further study, writing, and I quote, "The discovery that Homo floresiensis survived until so very recently in geological terms makes it more likely that stories of other mythical human-like creatures such as Yetis are founded on grains of truth." End of quote. Homo floresiensis, also known as Hobbit Man, is a pygmy, archaic human which inhabited the island of Flores, Indonesia, until the arrival of modern humans about 50,000 years ago. Some speculate Yetis could be present-day specimens of Gigantopithecus. The first remains, described by an anthropologist, were found in 1935 by Ralph von Koenigswald in an apothecary shop. Fossilized teeth and bones are often ground into powder and used in some branches of traditional Chinese medicine. By 1958, 3 mandibles and more than 1,300 teeth had been recovered from both old warehouses and cave deposits in China, Vietnam, and India. In 2014, for the first time, Gigantopithecus fossils were found in Indonesia. They suggest Gigantopithecus was the largest known primate that ever lived, standing up to 9 feet tall. Based on peptide sequence data, its closest living relative is the orangutan, and weird hominoid primate fossils are not exclusive to Asia, though. Oreopithecus bones have been found in today's Tuscany and Sardinia, in Italy. known as the enigmatic hominoid, Jueyuan, can dramatically rewrite the paleontological map, depending on if it is a descendant from a European ape or some African anthropoid. The wild man is a mythical figure that appears in the artwork and literature of medieval Europe, comparable to Silvanus, the Roman god of the woodlands. In Basque mythology, among Europe's earliest oral traditions, Basajauns are huge, hairy hominids dwelling in the woods who were thought to have built megaliths and were even credited with the invention of agriculture and ironworking in Europe. Their Hindu equivalent is the Vanara race. The Indian epic Ramayana presents them as humans with reference to their speech and wisdom, but also points out their simian traits such as a furry body and great leaping skills. The popular Hindu god Hanuman is characterized by noble virtues, in spite of actually looking like a giant monkey. However, ape men are not restricted to Asia and Europe. Bigfoot and Sasquatch are said to dwell in the wilderness of the Rocky Mountains, where Native American tribes regard them with great respect, viewing them as a bridge between man and beast. The previously clear boundary between humans and apes has been blurred, resulting in biologists now acknowledging hominids as encompassing multiple identified and unidentified species. A number of varieties of Homo are grouped into the broad category of archaic humans. According to recent genetic studies, modern humans may have bred with ancient races such as Neanderthals and Denisovans. Therefore, I'm going to end this video with a famous verse by John Dryden. So I quote, "I am as free as nature first made man, ere the base laws of servitude began, when wild in the woods the noble savage ran." End of quote.